everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am not naked, I promise. I have clothing on. I just feel freer, you know, when I'm not like bound at my shoulders. Anyway, as you can see by the title, today I'm going to be playing, reviewing, testing, doing this eye look using the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette. I was going to call it the I'm Nude palette because I'm wearing I'm Nude on my lips. Anyway, I got an email the other day from a company that was working with Beauty Bay, and they asked if I would pick a couple of things from the site and then just use them basically. I didn't have to use them in a video, this isn't sponsored, I didn't have to do anything with it really. They just kind of offered it to me and I was like, yeah, okay, thank you. And then this morning I got this lovely box from Beauty Bay, and the contents were a pair of unicorn lashes. I love unicorn lashes. If you watched my recent haul, you would have seen I bought a pair recently and I've bought a lot in the past. So they sent me a pair of unicorn lashes, and then they sent me a very beautiful blood sugar palette. Look at it. It comes in this like white cardboard case, but this is the star of the show. It's really big, it's really thick. It's got like clasp fastenings. I mean, you'll all have seen this already. This isn't new, but it's new to me. And then the beautiful, beautiful palette. Look at that. This palette is currently available on Beauty Bay. It is in stock. It is £46 for 18 shades. So the reason I haven't bought it up till now, or have it up till now, is because £46 to me is a lot of money. I have Androgyny and I've got Beauty Killer, and I honestly don't really reach for them very much. This is the only palette of his that really appealed to me because you know that these shades are right up my alley. However, looking at pictures online, I felt like I had all these shades in my collection. Like I've got a bright pink, I've got these like deep mulberries. Actually, having compared it to my Modern Renaissance, my Colour Dream Queen of Hearts and things like that, these shades are really, really unique. Not all of them, but a lot of them are very, very unique to this palette and very beautiful. I'm so glad I have this. I'm actually gonna buy one for my 10k giveaway. That's how impressed I am by it. I was thinking of buying the Nudie Patootie palette by Laura Lee. That's another one that I've been really impressed with recently, but this one to me is just a bit more exciting. But let's jump into some swatches if you are interested. I'm just gonna swatch them on my arm down here so you can see I'm wearing clothes. And oh yeah, I'll just begin. So this first one is the shade Glucose, which is pretty much a true white shade. Swatches really well. This next one is called Sugarcane, which is like a muted blush pink, kind of like a rosy blush pink. That's one swatch. I'll do two just to build it up a bit better. The next shade is Cake Mix, which is like a light tan brown with a kind of hint of pink in it. This is a very pink purpley tone palette. The next shade is Ouch, which is like a caramelly, fudgy, browny, yellowish brown shade. Really nice transition shade. The next shade is Donor, which is a very, very stunning metallic gold. Look how pigmented that is. It's nuts. The next shade is a true, true dark brown called Intravenous. One swipe on a matte. That's one swipe on a matte shade. The next shade, so the first one in the next row, is called Candy Floss, which is like a metallic baby pink. You're probably not going to see it very well, but it's just, yeah, metallic baby pink. Probably quite a nice highlight shade. And we have Tongue Pop, which is a gorgeous, gorgeous peach. Again, swatches really, really beautifully. Then we've got Sweetener, which is what I'm wearing on my cut crease, which is like a peachy pink duochrome metallic. Oh, look at these swatches. And of course, one of my favorite shades in the palette, Cavity. Look at that swatch. Then we've got O Positive. This is like a like a purpley grey. It reminds me of Bon Fresco from the Modern Renaissance palette. I'll move over to this arm. So the next shade is Root Canal, which is a gorgeous, bright purple. Then we've got Prick of a Needle, or a naughty word, which is, I would say like almost like a coral red, but it is supposed to be like a true red. Let me pop a bit more on there. Then we have Cherry Soda. It was this bottom row that actually was putting me off a little bit because I felt like they were quite similar, but swatched they are really different. So that's Cherry Soda. Then we've got Fresh Meat. This is a gorgeous colour. That's Fresh Meat, one swipe pigment. Then we've got the shade Blood Sugar, which is like a metallic red, which is a shade you don't really see very often. But look at that. Then we've got the shade Extraction. This probably swatches the worst in the palette, but it does actually build up on the eye. That's just a matte, deeper purple. And then the last shade is Coma, which I used a lot in my look today, and it swatches really nicely. That is Coma. There are my two arms of swatches. So you can see there's a really good variety in the palette, but there are very kind of similar colour story. What do you think of those swatches then? I thought they were quite impressive. There's one or two shades in there that don't swatch as well as others, but swatches aren't the be all end all. They just kind of show what colour you're gonna get, but oftentimes, much more often than not, you're gonna get a better payoff on your eye than on like finger swatches. My hands are so grubby now. My genuine thoughts that are this palette is worth it. It is worth £46 if you can afford that, if you're happy to spend that, if maybe you get a Beauty Bay voucher, anything like that, I would say pick it up. If you like the colour story of reds and pinks and golds, if you would never wear those shades, I wouldn't buy it. So that's my thoughts on the palette. I have done a full tutorial on this eye look, so if you want to see that, then just keep watching. But please, if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I've just spoken about my 10k giveaway. The sooner I hit 10k, the sooner I can do it, and I'm going to be adding a lot more goodies to it, including a Blood Sugar palette. So subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and without further ado, let's just jump into the tutorial. So I'm taking my favourite Morphe brush, the M514. It is, yeah, and dipping into the shade Coma, which is the deepest shade in the palette and like the truest, like deepest aubergine purple. And I'm gonna pop that in my crease. I am really shocked by how pigmented this purple is. Purples are like the hardest colours to do. I watched a Stacey Marie MUA live yesterday on Instagram, and she said that once you've put down like a really deep shade, you should go in with a clean brush and blend out the edges of that before you go in with a transition shade, like above it. So this is a clean brush, and I'm just gonna tease around the edges of this just to encourage it to blend a bit more. Then I'm using my Zoeva 228 brush and dipping into the shade Root Canal. Hilarious, I've had one. Wasn't actually that bad. Genuinely not that bad. And I'm gonna start popping that on above the shade Coma. Talking of purple palettes, Norvina palette, the Norvina palette from ABH. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited to see inside it. Taking another favourite blending brush, the ABH A25, I'm dipping into the shade Cavity, which is like, these names are just making me giggle. I'm just putting Cavity on my eye. I'm just putting that around the top here. The shade picks up so well on the brush and does go on the eye really, really well. I'm just really gently going in with it because I don't want too much colour payoff. Like, I want to be able to control how much colour I'm getting. Then I'm taking a bigger, fluffier brush. This is the ABH A10 brush, really good one. I'm dipping into Tongue Pop, which is like the peach in the palette. And I'm gonna go around the top. Just kind of all the way around. I'm just dipping back into Cavity now and making sure that it's really nicely blended into that peach shade. Then I'm taking a pencil brush and I'm dipping into Coma, that first shade that we played with, and I'm popping that on the inner and outer corner. So pigmented but so purple, it's amazing, truly amazing. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut my crease. I'll link a full in-depth video that I did on how to do this, but I'm also not going to take my crease up as dramatically as I usually do. I'm just going to keep it quite low. Just neaten this up and then we'll be back and fill it in. So I'm taking my favourite blending brush, the Nima Ifa brush, and I've got dipped into Cavity, and I'm going to start just packing that bold pink on. Look how pigmented that is. And then for the centre, I'm going to fill that in using the shade Sweetener. I was tempted by the shade Donor, but I went with Sweetener, and it's a really, really beautiful, like almost duochrome gold peach colour. It's so pretty. I'm going to go over the edges of where I put the pink because we can come back and blend that, but I want this to be quite wide. I'm using a little pencil brush and dipping into the shade Root Canal. I'm going to just tap that kind of where the pink hits the deepest purple. This is the kind of stage that takes the longest. It's going to be blending this so it looks seamless like this side. Do you know what I mean? This is the longest part. Settle down into this. I'm going to pick up Coma on that little pencil brush and just re-intensify the outer and inner corner. Making sure that they're the darkest parts of the look. Then back in with my Nima Ifa brush, I'm going to start just tapping gently where the gold begins. And then I'll probably go back over this with gold, back over with pink, just until I get that really perfect blend. I'm gonna pick up a little bit of Tongue Pop, that peach shade, and use that as well. Just patting, 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 not rubbing too much or swiping. A lot of patting. Bit more cavity. It's really just a case of going back and forth until you're happy with how it's blended. I'm also just going in now with the shade Fresh Meat. Just patting that. I think that's going to help this blend a lot better as well. And I'm trying to use a lot of different shades. I'm taking the shade Sweetener again on this little brush. Very gently, I'm going to pat over my blending. And just deposit a very, very small amount of that golden pigment over the pinks and purples. And our lashes are the really, really beautiful Unicorn Lashes style Strawberry Shortcake. They're just a super, super fluttery, curled lash. They're so beautiful. So the lash glue is still drying, but that is the lash on. Very fluttery. So I will go away and put on the rest of my makeup because this is just about the eyes. And we'll come back and I'll do like the lower lash line with you. A little bit of fallout. Not a problem though, because I haven't done my base. For my under eyes, I'm first of all going to go in with the shade Coma and run that underneath my lash line. These shades are so pigmented. Look at that purple. Then I'm going to use the shade Cavity, the bright, bright, bright pink one, to blend that out. Then I'm using the shade Tongue Pop to blend out that bright pink. This is obviously a pretty dramatic under eye that we're going for. Then I'm taking a pencil brush and the shade Donor, which is the bright kind of metallic gold. And I'm just going to do what I did on this eye and pop a little bit in the middle. And drag it down. Good job I'm going to see a horror film at the cinema tonight after I film this. Because that looks crazy. And then I'm going to use my Milani Black eyeliner. Then for my inner corner, I'm just taking the pure white in the palette. It's a really, really pigmented white. It's so good. So I'm gonna go away, throw on a lip, and then I'll come back and I'll kind of show you the full look, but bold, bold eyes. Here we are then. This is my finished look using the Jeffree Star Blood Sugar palette for the first time. Obviously, it's a little bit more of an out there look just by how much I blended and then taking down that gold. But if you kind of didn't blend so much and didn't add the gold, it would be wearable, just like a normal kind of cut crease. But it's me, and sometimes, you know, things happen. Things happen. So impressed by this palette, so impressed. Like I said, I was very hesitant to buy it because of how expensive it was, but it's so lovely, and obviously, again, the packaging. Just look at it. I'm really impressed, and I would highly recommend this palette if you haven't already picked it up. And if you're tempted but not sure, I recommend it. From the colours I used today, how many did I use? I used a few. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I used like 8 or 9 shades. All of them really impressed me. It's a lovely palette, it would make a lovely gift for someone. Yeah, really happy. Let me know what you think of this look down below. Was this something you would wear? Do you think it's too much? Probably. Thank you so much for watching. I will link it down below if you're interested in buying it. It will be an affiliate link as always. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.